Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Catherine and this is Raspberry Reads. It's been a while since I've filmed actually. I did some bulk filming around a month ago maybe, and then I have been sick. I've got lots going on. So yeah, I'm trying to squeeze in a little bit of filming right now. As you'll see in one of my future videos, I've actually had to split up my reading reviews into two parts because there's just no way I have time to film everything in one sitting. But yeah, in any case, this is my spring TBR video. I think I did pretty well reading throughout the winter. I definitely deviated quite a little bit from what I intended to read, and as you'll see, some of the titles that I keep referring to as being on my TBR or that I'm halfway through, they're still here. I haven't made any progress on them, but that's okay. So I thought I'd share with you today 10 books that I want to get to this spring, and I'm always keen to hear what you're planning on reading, so feel free to share in the comments below some of the books that you'd like to get to in spring, and also if any of them are the same as the ones I'm reading, I'd like to know that too. I've tried to split this up, or at least refer to books that I'm currently reading, books that I would like to return to, and books that I'd like to get to. So first up, and this is a book that I have mentioned several times on my channel before, is Why Women Grow by Alice Vincent. This is a non-fiction look at, from a journalist's perspective, as she's interviewing various women around the UK about why they have created and maintained gardens. As I mentioned in another video, so far it's very much linked to motherhood, which I didn't necessarily get that vibe when I was originally looking at getting this book, but nonetheless I'd like to finish it, and it's actually Mothering Sunday coming up soon in the UK, so maybe that'll be good timing for this one. So yes, Why Women Grow by Alice Vincent. Would like to finish it this spring. The next book, sorry, they're all down here. The next book that will come as no surprise that I want to finish is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I am enjoying this. I had to put it down so that I could get to some of my Libby holds and also some of the books that I'm reading for my work book club. So this one has sort of fallen by the wayside and I'd like to pick it up again. I definitely find some of the perspectives, the tense, I think one of them is second person, like, you know, you, and yeah, I don't know if I like that or not. I find it a little bit difficult to follow, but in any case, I do like the concepts and the sort of premise of this world very much. And yeah, I will give you my full thoughts on the fifth season when I eventually get to it. Can you see in the corner a tiny, tiny nose? Wilbur here is right off camera. There he is. Yeah. Getting up to mischief as usual. I can't go anywhere to have a quiet moment to film without him following me around. Right, where were we? Cat's Cradle by Kurt Vonnegut. That's another book that I would like to continue reading. I'm reading this as an ebook from Libby, and I've never read anything by Kurt Vonnegut before, and it is weird, and yeah, so far it's about the creation rather, of the atom bomb, like nuclear weapons, and sort of looks at some of the scientists involved in that. But it's a weird book, so I can't really give my full thoughts on that yet because I'm only about a third of the way through, but I do want to finish it. It is interesting. I always like going back and looking at historical fiction like that, which I wouldn't normally go towards. I normally gravitate towards either sort of ancient historical fiction or Tudor era, that type of thing. I don't tend to go for kind of like Cold War era or post Second World War material, let's say. So yes, I am enjoying it. Next is another ebook that's on the Libby app. I just got the hold back again yesterday, and this is Dust, the third in the trilogy, the Omnibus trilogy, with Wool and Shift being the first two. I'm just trying to get back into the swing of this one because I did have to return it so that somebody else could read it, and I need to refresh my memory about what's going on. But yeah, I definitely want to finish that one, and finally be able to say that I've finished the trilogy. Next up, we have a Lisa Jewell book, None of This Is True. A colleague at work gave this copy to me ages ago, and then coincidentally we give suggestions of books we'd like to read for our book club, and then they all go into sort of the hat and they get drawn, and this one got drawn for the next book that we're reading, and I was like, oh, I have that on my shelf and I haven't even read it yet, so yeah, very handy. This is a thriller. It says two very different women who meet by chance in a restaurant and discover they are birthday twins. A few days later, they meet again. Alex is a podcaster, and Josie persuades her to feature on her new series. She tells Alex, on the cusp of great changes in her life. Alex agrees to do a trial interview with Josie. Josie's past appears to be strange and complicated, but although Alex finds her unsettling, she can't quite resist the temptation to keep digging and keep recording. It soon becomes apparent that Josie has been hiding some very dark secrets, and before Alex knows it, Josie has unveiled her way into Alex's life and into her home. So yes, I've had this sitting on my shelf for ages, and I'm really excited to get to it in April's read. Another book that I'd like to return to is A Court of Mist and Fury, the second book by Sarah J. Maas in the ACOTAR series. And that one, again, I'm reading as an ebook, and I had to return the loan, so now I need to wait for it to come back. I'm not enjoying it as much as the first one, but from what I can gather, that seems to be the pattern with that series, is that the first one's really good, pardon me, and then they sort of like gear back up again. So I'm going to persevere with that series and find out what happens in the ACOTAR world. Another book that I am continuing to read is an ebook called The Searcher by Tana French. I've heard really good things about Tana French. She is a psychological or like maybe detective, mostly thriller series, but this one is based off of a retired detective who's American and living in Ireland. I'm very early on in it. I think I'm only sort of 4% into the ebook. And so far I'm intrigued. I like her writing style, and so I'm going to keep going with that one. I should say, if you've read any of these books and you've got some things to say about them without any spoilers, please put your comments down below. I'm always happy to hear from you about your thoughts on these books, especially books by authors like Tana French who I've not tried before. Another book that is coming my way soon is an audiobook, and that's Clear by Carys Davies. I'm still waiting for that loan, but it should be coming sort of in a week or so. I don't know anything about this one. I can't even remember why I wanted to read it, other than I think Simon from Savage Reads was talking about it, and I thought, okay, that sounds interesting. Oh yes, and it's only about 3 hours long, so I like to not overcommit with audiobooks. I tend to not listen to any audiobooks that are sort of over 10 hours, because I like to listen to them while I'm falling asleep, and there's something about a 3-hour audiobook that makes me feel very non-committal, that I was like, well, okay, I'll listen to it, and if I'm not getting on with it, it doesn't matter because I've only invested 3 hours. But yes, therefore, Clear by Carys Davies is the next audiobook that I will be reading in spring. Another book that is not a surprise is Wylding. I'm determined to finish Wylding by Isabella. I haven't picked this up since the last time I talked about it. Again, it's a non-fiction book about sort of wildlife conservation on an English farming property. And last but not least, number 10 is The Bass Rock by Evie Wyld. I've been wanting to get to this book for quite a while, and I picked this secondhand book up off Vinted not too long ago. This is historical fiction with multiple timelines. So in the early 1700s, Sarah, accused of being a witch, flees for her life. In the aftermath of the Second World War, Ruth navigates a new house, a new husband, and the strange waters of the local community. 6 decades later, the house stands empty. Viv, mourning the death of her father, catalogues Ruth's belongings and discovers her place in the past and perhaps a way forward. Watching over all three is the Bass Rock. Each woman's choice are circumscribed by the men in their lives, but in sisterhood, there's hope of survival and a new life. I've heard great things about Evie Wyld. She just had another book come out not too long ago, but I wanted to get to this one first. So yeah, those are the 10 books that I either want to keep reading, pick up again, or start in, let's say, well, I'm saying spring, so from the end of March through to end of June, I guess. That's when spring is. But hopefully I'll get to at least most of these. And as I said before, I'm really interested to hear what your spring reads are going to be. So put them down in the comments. But yes, that just leaves me to say that I hope you're all doing really well. I hope you're enjoying what you're reading, and I will see you soon in a new video. Take care. Bye-bye.